Hey everyone, I'm the Rev, and this race is a Mazda MX-5 race at Brands Hatch on the LFM. But this is the confession burr. Now, I've got a confession to make somewhere in this video. I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. I'm not going to put a chapter in, that'd be too easy. So the only rule is, if you listen to my confession, you have to tell me one of yours. But first, let's get on with the race. So for this race, you're going to be stuck with a voiceover. It was done at a time when my missus was in bed. She'd been on nights as well, so she needed a sleep. So I couldn't really say anything as I didn't want to wake her up. So I'm just going to voice over the video instead until it comes to the confession. And then when the confession starts, I'm probably going to show my face because it's for the best. So in terms of the race, we've got a decent start. We're 14th. There's not been any contact so far. As we head into the hairpin, let's keep our eyes out, keep our wits about us, and watch that radar and see if anybody's going to dive bomb us into Graham Hill Bend. We seem to be alright. Oh, hello, clattered from the rear. Damage to the rear of my Mazda, damage to the front of the guys behind, but we've got away with it, so we can just crack on with the rest of the race. Now, in typical ReverendSimRacing style, oh, hello, just managed to get out the way there. Reactions of a cat, not so bad for a nearly 43-year-old man. But in my typical fashion, I'd done a couple of laps of qualifying, I'd done no practice, I just don't have the time. With a full-time job, the rest of my normal commitments and trying to make YouTube videos these days, I haven't got the time for practicing. But it doesn't matter, I'm not after being the best sim racer there's ever been, I'm not after winning every race that I compete in, I'm just here for the enjoyment. So if I'm coming from the back, it is what it is. But we're 13th in this race, we've made one place, and we've only had that little bump from the rear from that other guy's Mazda. So overall, the first 3 quarters of this lap 1 has not been so bad. Switching to the TV cams, Assetto Corsa still looks absolutely magnificent. We've got the Morrison 3D trees here at Brands Hatch, looks fantastic. We're running the Gary Reel PPF filter, and obviously we're running pure, looks absolutely stunning. Who needs Assetto Corsa Evo? So we're coming now towards the end of lap 1. As I say, we've only made one place, and I just wanted a nice clean race. My safety rating had been damaged by a couple of races prior to this, so I just wanted a nice clean race, and hopefully I could make a little bit of improvement to my safety rating. I do like to improve my safety rating where I can, he says. I do like to improve my safety rating where I can. However, the driver rating, it means nothing to me whatsoever, if I'm honest. It's just an arbitrary number. If it goes up, it goes up. If it goes down, it goes down. I'll still be racing, so I can have a good race for 13th, the same as I can have a race for the win. But these guys up ahead, they're getting racy now, so with a bit of luck, if they keep battling it out, I should be able to get onto the back of these as I learn the car track combo and get a bit more fair and a bit more confident with this Mazda MX-5. I think I was braking a little bit too much and a little bit early at this point, so I had to learn the limits of the car and where I could push it and where I could slow the car down with the gears. This corner now, for example, I was braking for, but you didn't need to. You just had to come down a gear and the engine braking would slow the Mazda down enough. Oh, little bit of oversteer there, little tiny bit, but the orange Mazda, he's got out of shape. We're going to whip it up the inside, and we're up to 12th. I do remember thinking at this point though, that I've only made that place up because of his mistake, so we're going to bear in mind the orange MX-5, he may well be right back onto the back of us in a lap or two, once he's gathered himself and collected himself together. So as we come now to the end of lap 2, it's so far so good, mission accomplished in terms of my safety rating. I've only had that one little bit of contact, which to be fair wasn't my fault. I got slammed into from the rear, but I'll still get a safety rating penalty for it. But if we could make sure that there was no more contact from here, we should end the race and our safety rating should have gone up a bit. As you can see from the replay cameras, the lads behind are having a right little ding-dong battle in these Mazdas. It doesn't half promote some good racing, really close, really tight, and I think because the cars are that little bit slower, people have got a bit more control, and I just think slower car, maybe sometimes it's better racing. Now he's just had a little tiny look up the inside. I was going to give him the room, but he's got out the throttle, which has allowed the, what do you want to say, creamy gold coloured Mazda to come back up the inside of him. But from what I can see, there hasn't been any contact between them. It's been great racing so far. Who knows, maybe up the hill now, you might be able to get in the slipstream of that Mazda and make another move. Jeff there just warning me that my tyres were cold. However, they weren't cold, there was nothing wrong with them. For some reason, my tyre app in the bottom left-hand corner just wasn't working for this race. I don't know why. It worked for every other race, but there must have been some kind of bug when this race loaded. We've got that gold Mazda now all over the back of us. As we head into the fast right-handers, is he going to be able to throw it up the inside of us? He's not close enough yet, but I was watching it all the time, making sure that I tried to hit my own brake markers, ride plenty of curb there, get on the throttle early. Is he going to throw it up the inside? Not this time, Sonny Jim, but there's a long way to go yet. He's got a decent run out to the left-hander. I'm going to defend a little bit, but then I decided he wasn't close enough. I went back to the racing line and took the final corner with my own line. Going to have to defend it early this time though. He's got a really good run. Is he going to be able to make it stick into turn 1? He's going to have to go around the outside of us if he is. We'll squeeze him back towards the edge of the circuit. Watch for the cutback. Try and park the car on the apex as best we can. And we managed to defend that position. But I'm going to have to defend again, which is going to compromise me into the hairpin. He's round the outside of us. We've got a spinner. That's Jesus. He's span it. This lad's going round the outside. It's all going off at Brands Hatch. He's made the move stick. Fantastic move. Jobs are good for the lad. We're back down to 12th. Let's have a quick look what happened to Jesus. Jesus is absolutely flying up to the hairpin, loses the rear on the way in, bit of contact with the yellow MX-5 and he's facing the wrong way. Just ahead you can see us coming round the hairpin just in time for the gold MX-5 to throw it up the inside into Graham Hill. Great move. As we rejoin our race, I've got problems of my own. The orange MX-5, he's trying to throw it up the inside. However, we've got just enough pace up the hill. He's going to have to come back behind us, get the slipstream, and see if he's going to throw it up the inside of us into the right-hander. However, it's a brave move. I don't think he's got quite enough straight line speed, so he stays tucked underneath. Decent driving, nice and safe, just what we like to see. I think luckily at this point we were coming into the final sector, which is probably my best sector around Brands Hatch, especially in this car. I certainly had the confidence to throw it into these right-handers, using plenty of curb, using all the track and getting on the throttle nice and early. These replay cameras really do Assetto Corsa justice. Looking stunning in 2025. Thank you very much to the modding community. But as we head down towards the final turn to finish the lap, we're still in 12th position, but it's been eventful so far. What can we do with the rest of this race? Like I say, we're here for safety rating. That's what we're here for. The result doesn't really matter as long as we get a positive result for the safety. The only thing I've got to bear in mind now is that Jesus, he's going to be flying through the field. Is it Jesus or is it Jesus? I'm going to go with Jesus. Jesus is flying through the field. He's going to be right on the back of us very soon. He's faster than us as well. So I didn't really want to fight him too much when he did get on the back of us. Because this lad behind us in the orange, he's the one I need to worry about. He's the one I'm racing. He's the one that I've kind of got a little bit of pace with. So don't get caught up with Jesus. Here he is now. He's going to throw it up the inside of the orange one straight through. But he's a little bit wide, compromises his run up the hill, so he's not going to be on the back of us straight away, but he is coming. Skipping the race forward a couple of laps, Jesus is right onto us as we head down into Graham Hill. Now, as I said previous, I don't want to fight Jesus too hard. In fact, I don't want to fight him at all. I want to let him get the job done, and then I want to try and scamper away from the lad behind us in the orange MX-5. He's going to go up the inside of us. I've lost the rear a touch. I've given plenty of room. See you later, mates. Off you pop, up that hill. I'll just get a little bit of a tour from you if I can. Thank you very kindly. Pull me away from that orange one if you can. So with Jesus having made the place, I just thought he's going to scamper away from us. I just need to keep things neat and tidy. Whoops, as I just run a little bit wide there in the right-hander. I need to keep things neat and tidy and try my very best to keep pulling away from this orange lad behind us. But Jesus, once he got past us, he didn't really go flying away from us. He did do eventually, but for a lap or half a lap, I was a bit like, come on Jesus, any chance here mates, you can push on a little bit. But sticking this close to a lad that was obviously faster than us had its benefits as well. I was watching where he was braking, I was watching his lines, which hopefully was going to help me get that little bit faster as well. So it's all about improving, where and when we can. In this race, I still hadn't done a lap time under 1 minute and 40, so I needed to get my lap times under there. That was a dead cert, otherwise I was never going to make any progress in this week's daily races. As we come now through Paddock Hill, I'm a touch wide. Jesus is defending the inside, even though there's no way I'm going for the position. Not yet, unless I was confident I could pull away. I'd just let him keep going. There's two guys ahead of him. They're having a battle as well, and we've managed to drop the orange MX-5 from behind. Through Graham Hill now, Jesus is just going to pull away from us. And with that, I can hear you going, "Hey Rev, any chance of this confession, mate? I've things to do." Right, no problem. In that case, let's enter the Rev's confessional. Okay, so for the confession, I thought it was best to show my face as opposed to just my voice. So, starting with a little bit about who I am. The ginger beard shows that when I could grow hair, I did have red hair, and with that red hair came a little bit of a temper, a short temper, let's put it that way. It didn't take much for me to lose my rag, which is lose my temper, for those of you that are not from the north of England. So it didn't take me much to lose my rag. As I've got older, I've mellowed a little bit, but it's still in there. So just this week on the LFM, I jumped into the Laguna Seca GT3 race. Now, bear in mind that I was doing night shifts, so I don't sleep particularly well off night, and I'd probably had around 3 hours sleep, but I thought I'll get up and I'll do the race. Now in hindsight, that's a stupid thing to do. I'm already tired, I'm already irritable, and as I've already said, I have a short temper. So it's a crazy thing to do, and I shouldn't have done it. I'm not going to go into the backstory of what happened because there's no point in explaining other people's behaviour. They can do what they want, and that way I'm just kind of like offering you an excuse for my behaviour, and I don't want to do that. I just want to be honest and have some honesty and integrity and talk about my own behaviour. I jumped into the LFM GT3 race at Laguna Seca, and it didn't go particularly well. There was a bit of contact between me and somebody, and my race was over. Okay, never mind. We move on to the next one. So I moved on to the next one, and that race didn't go particularly well either. I would say I probably put my car in a stupid place, and there was contact, and that was the end of that race too. So I'm now kind of like chasing it a little bit, and I felt like I needed a better result. So we jumped into race number 3. And in race number 3, we came across the same guy from race number 1. Now, unfortunately, there was some contact initiated by him to start with, and then I felt that it was out of order. So the fact that I felt it was out of order meant that on the last corner at Laguna Seca, as you know, it's a very slow left-hander. I have absolutely cleaned him out completely on purpose. I've played for it. I meant it. I have completely no brakes whatsoever. Boom, bang, cleaned him out. It's stupid and it's pathetic. I'm a grown man. I'm 43 years of age this time, and I'm cleaning somebody else online. So I literally hold my hands up. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's pathetic, and it's moronic because I'm now suspended from the LFM for 3 months. So till the 30th of April, I'm now suspended from the LFM. It's crazy. Nothing's going to happen to him because I don't tend to make complaints about contacts. I can't be bothered with it. I haven't got the time. You have to submit 700 different angles of the contact. I haven't got the time for it. So I don't tend to make complaints, but obviously he's made the complaints against me. Completely justifiable and rightly so, because I have completely ended his race there. He's made the complaints. I'm now banned for 3 months until April the 30th. So the only loser is me. Luckily, there's 1,000,001 other places. The LFM is not the be all and end all, but so there's 1,000,001 other places that I can do my racing, and I will do. But I prefer to be honest about it, and hopefully, you never know, maybe you might remember this when you're online and you think somebody like takes you out, or you think there's a bit of contact there shouldn't have been, and you want to react to it. And I know, boy, do we want to react to everything, but it's pointless. It's absolutely pointless. I've lost out. I'm going to pay the price for it because there may be combos on Assetto Corsa on the LFM that I'm now going to miss, like that I loved. So there could be like a GT3 race at Brands Hatch or something at Oulton Park, and I'm going to miss that now because of my own stupidity. I have no excuse. It's pathetic behaviour from me. I fully understand if my subscribers now go down. If you might want to watch somebody that's going to go and do stupid, moronic things like that, and I fully understand that. That is what it is. I thank you for your viewership up until now, but you're fully within your rights to hit unsubscribe. So for those of you that are still here, I will be better in the future, and that's the end of the Rev's little confession. But it doesn't end there, because if you've listened to my confession, I want to hear yours. Have you stupidly taken somebody out? Have you got caught up in a little bit of an online online spat, then do let me know, because I do like to read that stuff, and hopefully we can be better. Who knows? Let's find out. So now, as we rejoin our race with the confession out the way, I might just be talking to some YouTube bots now, who knows. But if there's anybody still here, we can see that Jesus, he's made another place. He's up now to 10th, we're still in 12th. Can we catch Sergio up ahead in 11th before the end of this race? Well, at this point, I'm going to skip ahead because Jesus was about to have another event in his already eventful race. Whoops-a-daisy, that'll be the barrier, and that's us up to 11th place. Let's have a quick look what happened to Jesus. In virtually the same place as his first excursion, he's off again, he's lost the rear, manages to not collect the other player, but that's the barrier, we come steaming through, thank you very much, we'll take that position. As we rejoin our race, it's the final lap, in fact it's the final quarter of the final lap. I've managed to catch up to Sergio that little bit, but I'd ran out of time, which is a bit of a shame as I was just about to start to find some pace in this little MX-5. I was thoroughly enjoying it, and I was certainly catching Sergio, but it is what it is. And as we now know, this was my last race on the LFM for 3 months, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But these things are sent to try us. I'll be back in 3 months' time. As always, I've been the Reverend. If you're still here, thank you very much for watching.